I wish I'd have brought those ones I told you that had the two. Is that a fish?
Yes.
Oh, oh boy, you are king of the. That's a little one.
Yeah, but
Still
change the worm. Oh.
That caught me by surprise.
I don't understand. That's how it's possible. With every fish, I lose the worm.
I do the same thing. When you hook them that way, when they jump, it tends to cause the worm to come off. If you're serious about fishing wacky worms, they actually have a sleeve, a little plastic ring that you put your hook through. That way the hook isn't going against the worm, and the worm stays on much better. So.
Okay, so now I forgot which one. Okay.
Did you find what you wanted?
Yeah, there's so many colors that.
See, I think the bigger worms work better than the small ones.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah, I put the back.
Yeah.
Bigger ones.
And I'm not sure why. You'd think for these smallmouth that they'd like a smaller worm. We're actually using.
Probably because I'm modest, you know. So I want, you know.
That's what it is. That's it.
It's the personal characteristic.
Well, you know, we've got. Before it gets too much later, I want to ask you something, okay? Yes. No fishing for a minute. I want you to think here.
Hang on, Dylan, because I'd like to change the battery.
Okay. It's on. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Tell me when, Jerry.
I'm rolling.
You know, Dusan, this is tremendous fun, isn't it? Going out here fishing. But tell me, you've never been in this country before, and you just got a visa. You're working on a special. Dusan actually works here in St. Lawrence County on a special pandemic program, designing a program in case there's really a disaster for the financial institute that he's working with. And it's given him a chance to come over here to see what this country's like. What was your first impression when you got here? And he's only been here a month or so, right?
Yeah, so since I got here, like month and today is exactly 13 days.
Okay,
month
you're
and
counting
13 days, yeah. I have the numbers in my head because I want to know how much time I needed to figure out the things here. So first of all, I want to say that I'm very proud and honored to fish with you. I didn't know who you are before I came here, but since I saw your shows before that you made like last couple of years, I was impressed, you know, because when I talked with you before the shows, I didn't realize that actually you're doing something quite serious. And I thought that that's something like
you
just
thought I was just an idiot out here
for you and for a couple of friends that you have around you to watch that on Sunday night or something like that.
Yeah,
so
that's kind of pathetic, but true.
No, it's not, because I know. I saw a lot of shows, that kind of shows in my country. They are quite popular, fishing, and comparing you with the people that have done that in my country, you are a real professional. You know what you're talking about when you're fishing, and you know where to go and how to behave, you know, on every spot where you go, you know, and that's something that it's not so often. I mean, I'm not a huge expert, but I saw a lot of people who were trying to do the same thing like you, and they are not so good, trust me. So the first thing that you asked me about the country and about the United States is that maybe it's not nice to say, but the only positive thing that people in my country have about the United States is exactly this: your nature and you know, the rivers, the mountains, so the fields for fishing and hunting. You know, everybody knows that that's unbelievable that you have here, and it's a huge treasure that you have. I mean, it's not the only positive thing. I was joking, of course.
But really, you know, in a lot of parts of the world, we Americans, we Yanks, don't have a good reputation. We aren't loved every place.
But
people.
That's the thing, because it's a huge difference when I'm sitting in front of my TV in some part of East Europe and I'm making some opinion about you and the whole country. And totally different thing is when I came here and I saw, when I talked with you, when I talked with the people here, you know, it's totally different thing, and the impressions are unbelievable. I was totally surprised how much you're friendly, how much you're ready to, for example, to bring me here and to spend this time with me, actually to allow me to spend the time with you. you know.
Well, Dusan's saying that, but truthfully, I think people are great all over. I think if you give people a chance, and I'm talking about just in general, people tend, I think, to be fearful, and they put up walls against each other because they're afraid of what might happen if they reach out and if they try to be friends. But, people are pretty much the same all over the world. I think when you get inside their heart, they really are. We're all having struggles, and we all love life.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how much we have same problems.
Yes.
We have same wishes. We have the same desires, basically. And that's the only thing that it would be nice if the people all over the world realize that basically we are the same. All the difference that we have makes us only better people.
That's a great way to put it.
And if you would be same like me, there wouldn't be fun. There wouldn't be anything to develop and to research and to be interested in.
The thing of it is, we take so much for granted. We really do. I mean, I've had one of the greatest lives, and I'm so lucky to be able to enjoy days like this. But think of some of the things that Dusan and his people have been through. You've been through tremendous instability over the last few years with the war. Before that, communism and so forth. And I can't even imagine some of the things that you've seen and some of the things that you felt. So maybe you would take an experience like this a little bit different than some of it's just take it for granted that we can do this.
Yeah, the first time when I met you and when we talked at the camp, if you remember where we were.
Oh, yes.
And when I told you the sentence that my father actually said, how fishing saved his life, because he was a welder and he had a problem with the eyes, so the relaxing about the water and the green fields and the green trees around him made his eyes, less, recover a little bit. It's the same thing like when we had that tremendous period of economic problems and sanctions and wars and all kind of things. The best part of my childhood was exactly this, going to the river with my father and my brother and spending at least 4 hours there. It would change the whole week. It would change the whole month if we would go only once. And the biggest problem was how to get to the river, because they were not close to my hometown and there wasn't gas, so every time my father would start talking about how we're going to go when we don't have a gas for a car. So we would start begging, like, please, however, just find that 1 gallon that we need to go there and come back home, just to have that 4 hours on the river, because everything else around us was gray, black, old news, everything. So it's amazing how it's when you feel something like that, you actually realize how much you appreciate and how much you respect the river and the nature around you and that fish that we put back and everything.
Dusan has said it so eloquently, so beautifully, and some of the things, again, that I wouldn't even think to say because I haven't experienced some of the things that he has. The thing that strikes me is that not only do we all have the same problems no matter where we live, we're all struggling to make the most of our lives, but it really appears that being able to take the time and have the ability to go out and enjoy a day like this, to be on the water, it does something very special to people. It doesn't necessarily change them, but it brings out something that all of us have within us that we might keep covered, that we might not let show sometimes. And I think that's where the real humanity is. And that's why I think that fishing is far, far more than a lot of people would imagine. It really is a spiritual and a very human experience that transcends every culture, every race, every age, every sex. In other words, it's just a way of life, and it's a wonderful way of life. Well, Dusan, now that the sun's going down just a little bit, and now that you've mastered this tremendous, and he really has the feel for this, and that's so pleasing to me to see somebody that hasn't done this and that they can get a feel like this and enjoy this so much. Now the fish haven't been huge, but we're catching some nice fish. So you've got your gray worm on again.
Yeah. So
let's catch another.
Yeah.